Every one of the projects today started with a thrift store find and some scrap fabric. I'll show you how to turn an old pair of jeans into a whimsical patriotic banner, a thrifted pillow sham into a flag table runner that you can also use as a hot pad, and some leftover fabric scraps into a sweet patriotic centerpiece. These are easy projects that are full of cottage charm and perfect for celebrating summer without spending a fortune. And let's get right into it with project number 1. Now for all the projects in today's video, I am trying to use things I already own. I don't want to have to buy anything. I want this to be super budget friendly, and hopefully you'll have some of these same things too, or you can adjust for things that you already own. That's the goal. I'm using a pillow sham, and that's going to determine the size of my flag table runner. So I tore strips of fabric to fit this pillow sham, and then I'm going to take 2 at a time over to the sewing machine. And I wanted the raw edges on the front of the flag. I'm sewing the strips together off camera, but I'm just using a basic straight stitch. Next, I'm doing the star section of the flag, and I'm just tearing the fabric to the right size, so the perspective on the flag still looks correct. And I used my rotary cutter to straighten out all the edges. And here you can see that I thought it needed one more stripe. And as you can see on the bottom right, I had to sew 2 together because I didn't have enough fabric left. Next, I'm taking the pillow sham and I'm getting it down to 1 piece of fabric that I can use for the backing on this flag. I think the pillow sham is going to be thick enough where no loose threads would show when I put this flag together, but I want to make sure, so I cut off all the loose threads. Now I'm going to trim the backing so it is the same size as my flag. When I was gathering all the supplies for this project, I found a bunch of cotton batting, which I thought, you know what, I'm going to add that, and now I will have a flag hot pad. But before I put it all together, I decide that that pillow sham is way too white, and I am going to stain it with some Waverly Antique Wax. Then I washed it, and this is how it turned out, which kind of surprised me that it turned out so light, but I think it goes really well with the flag. Here I have everything together. It is the backing, the batting, and then the flag. And I'm going to clip everything together. And when I sew it, I'm going to go all around the flag, but I'm also going to go in between the stripes. Because when you flip over the flag, I want you to be able to see that design from the back. Now here I have already done the 2 sides and the bottom of the flag, and now I'm just doing the stripes. And if you're a quilter, you're probably thinking to yourself, she has no clue what she's doing, and I really don't. But I wanted to make this flag, and I just want you to see that anybody can do it, even a beginner sewer. And even if all your steps aren't in the right order, this is a very forgiving project. At this point, I have sewn in between all the stripes. I have sewn the rectangle that represents the stars, but I had a small section at the top of the flag along the stripes that still needed to be closed. And then I went around the whole perimeter of the flag 2 more times. I just want to give it more of that whimsical look. The flag really wasn't done until I washed it and dried it. That way, all the edges really started to fray. So here I have washed it and dried it, and I am now cutting off all the strings because there were a ton, as you can imagine. And here is how my summer patriotic table runner, now also a hot pad, turned out. The next project is going to start with an old pair of denim jeans. I just want to use the legs on these jeans, so I'm cutting it apart. So I have the legs. I split them down one side so I can open them up, and I've made a template out of cardboard because I'm going to make a patriotic whimsical banner using lots of different scraps. But once I got the first ones cut, I decided they were way too big, so I needed to make an adjustment. Next was putting everything together. I had lace, I had a part of a sleeve, I had napkins, anything red, white, or blue. I pulled out of my stash and I started to create my design. And it was a rough design because once I took it to the sewing machine, things changed a little bit, but that's okay. I applied everything with a zigzag stitch, and that is why this is like the perfect beginner project, because nothing has to be perfect. It has a whimsical look, and the jeans I used were not real thick, and my old sewing machine had no problem going through the jeans and the embellishments. I had enough of the pant legs left that I could tear some strips. I did have to sew the strips together, and that's going to be the top of my banner. Next, I assembled everything together, but I forgot to move my camera. But to make it simple, I just found the center of both and I worked my way out. And then I assembled everything with a zigzag stitch. So this is a very easy, whimsical project. By no means it has to be perfect. That just adds to the charm, in my opinion. But you'll have to let me know what you think. Many years ago, I used to do a farmer's market each week, and I made flowers using this loom. The first thing you need is just strips of fabric. So this is good for scraps. Of course, you would want longer scraps, but right here I'm showing you how to join two strips of fabric together to make it a longer strip. Now the loom that I'll be using, I couldn't find it on Amazon anymore, but I did insert a picture of one of the looms that I own. But I have to say the blue one is my favorite. These flowers are super simple to make. All you do is you take that strip and you just wrap it around the little pegs that are on the loom. I always go around twice, but you can make so many different versions of flowers using this little loom. When you start the flower, you want to leave a little bit of a tail in the back so that when you finish the flower, you can poke the tail when you end back through, and then you can tie it together and finish the flower. Here I'm using a contrasting color to finish the flower. The loom comes with a plastic needle, but I like to use a craft needle. I destroyed that plastic one a long time ago. And you just go around the petals to secure them so that when you take it off the loom, your flower sticks together. And in a minute, I will show you the different flowers that I made for this project. And the loom comes with instructions. And I finished this step the exact same way I finished the first step, tying it off in the back. Now, one tip for using the loom is you don't want to put the petals on super tight. You don't want to wrap that fabric around those pegs really tight, or it is very difficult to get it off the pegs. And if you've ever made a bow, you know that fluffing the bow is very important, and it's just as important when you're making a flower. You really need to pull out all the petals, open them up, and that's what makes the flower really look good. I also used a larger loom to make a couple of larger flowers. For the stems, I just used some sticks. I think I purchased them from Hobby Lobby. This is all I had left. That is why I made only 5 flowers. And here I'm just using some watered down Waverly antique wax to stain the sticks, or stems. To attach the flowers to the stems, I just used the tails and I tied them to the sticks. I didn't use any hot glue, and so far all of them are staying just fine. For the leaves, I used some green fabric that I had. I tore that into strips and I just tied it on. I thrifted 3 of these baskets many years ago, and they have been painted numerous times. For this project, I am going to go with red, white, and blue. And when the paint was dry, I went over it with a clear wax, and then I went over it with dark wax. And the last thing I need to finish this project is a piece of burlap. And the best way to cut burlap, figure out where you want to make your cut, and then you pull a string, and then you cut along that line. That is about the only way you can get a straight cut on burlap. Once I had it to the size that I wanted, I just frayed the edges, stuffed it in my basket, and put in some styrofoam. I thought my flower arrangement needed just a little bit more, so I decided to try and make a firecracker or a sparkler. I'm not quite sure, but I took a stick that I had already stained, and it was already cut to this size. And I took some of the cotton batting. I first put a thread down there, and then I wrapped it in the cotton batting, and then I went around it with this fabric that I had already tea stained or coffee stained. You can kind of see how it's not real consistent right there in the color, but that's okay. I like it that way. This was for the primitive floral arrangement, and I just glued this on with hot glue. And that was it. And I actually think it turned out pretty cute. I can make one more, and I already have everything cut. I just don't know where I stuck it. So once I find it, I'll make another one of these. Now the flags I did purchase, but you could get 14 of these flags. I think it was 14 of these flags for $11 from Walmart. And they're really nice flags. They are polyester cotton, but I think they grabbed the color. This is just the Waverly antique wax. And I just watered it down and I applied it to the flag to give it that primitive look. And here's how my summer patriotic centerpiece turned out. Now, I did make a couple more flowers, but I just need to get some more sticks and find where I stashed all the materials for the other firecracker. You'll have to let me know what you think of today's projects. They were a lot of fun to make. And if you have made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.